So we're sat here, nice drop of evening sunshine, on what's been a rarity, shall we say, for the last few months. It's a glorious view. Is that something you take for granted now, or do you still find yourself after all these years still kind of just thinking, oh, that's nice?
I still come out here and think this is an amazing view. And I've actually been coming down here ever since I was about 1 or 2 years old.
Oh, wow.
So I've been coming down here ever since a little child. And now I'm in this position where I look after this garden that we're surrounded by.
That's a lot. That's a long career. I mean, I'm suggesting we might be similar age. So you've been head gardener here for about 40 years?
Yes. I'm about 40 years old.
That's not far off.
But I've been here for just over 1 year now.
I see.
I am a Cornish man by birth, and I actually moved away for 12 years where I moved around gardening.
I see.
And it just so happened that this role had come up just over a year ago. Luckily.
Come back home?
Yeah, came back home, exactly.
It's nice.
Back to my roots.
Yes. So how do you find it in terms of the size of the estate compared to other projects you've had, other roles you've had? The size of it, how does that compare?
I've been in very many roles over my years. I've had a gardening business. I've looked after head garden of Nebworth House up in all of Surrey. I've moved around a lot, and I've been in Ireland where I looked after a 100-acre estate. And obviously this isn't just my only role. I'm the head gardener of Glendurgan and Trerice Garden as well.
I see.
So it's called the Heart of Cornwall portfolio. So I move my time between here, Glendurgan and Trerice. And actually that's a bit of a blessing because I find it a good part of my job that I get to sample every garden.
Yeah, it's nice and varied. And they're all different as well. You know, one's valley, one is a small residence and a real nice, the one just outside Newquay, isn't it?
Trerice.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Tudor.
Which is your favourite?
They all have their own special place in every one of them. I love them all the same.
Now we've had a hideous winter. But Cornwall as a county, wettest on record.
Yeah.
When it comes to doing your job, what's that like? Huge amounts of rainfall and storms. Obviously it's not easy or pleasant, but you've got to kind of grin and bear it.
Got to grin and bear it, and we have to get through it. And we also have to adapt to how we work. So if it's constantly wet, we cannot get on the ground. So we have to change how we work. So we think of other jobs. And also even thinking of planting in the garden. Some things have responded really well to this rain. Yeah. Others not so.
Okay. And much storm damage?
Yeah, we lost a good few large trees. I mean, you probably saw as you were coming in the Parkland head ranger there lost, I think, well over 100 mature trees. And the cost of trees that were damaged in the crossfire of all of those trees coming down. Yeah. And it's everything underneath as well. But obviously when these trees come down, it's very sad. But actually in that, it creates new space. And some of that wood we leave to rot down, which, you get all the other insects that come in and feed on that dead wood, and then birds will come in and feed off those insects. So we do try and keep things very much nature-based.
And it is all a natural cycle.
Yeah.
With or without those storms, at some point those trees would have reached the end of their natural.
Exactly, and you've got to remember this, a lot of what we see was planted. So, it's all sort of managed parkland, shall we say, trees, and they're all of a similar age. And it's never nice seeing big trees come down. But again, we have to be replanting, we have to look at regeneration to allow trees to come up naturally in their rightful place. So there's lots of things we're learning, and we're having to adapt and evolve as gardeners as well. So much more aware.
And now we're coming into sunnier seasons.
Yeah.
Warmer.
Yep.
It's a nice reminder when you see the blossom and the views. Yeah. Every year it must be just a nice relief to think, okay, that was kind of miserable, but we've made it.
Yeah, we've made it. We've got through it. And same as like today, like you said, it's the sunshine we've had. I know we've had little glimmers, but we had a bit last week, and then it went a bit grey, and then it went cold, and then it went miserably again. Yeah. And now today felt like a spring day, and there's hope for the season ahead.
When it comes to sort of future-proofing planting and following such a wet winter, and the fact that extremes become more regular, what goes through your mind in terms of different species that you might have to introduce for resilience and just future enjoyment?
It's all about a mixture. So I was having this chat about native versus non-native. Natives have a really strong part in everything. But obviously with our climate, it's getting wetter, it might get colder, we don't know at the moment. We're trying to play it by the year as it comes. Resilience and diversity are really key. So we might see rhododendrons, big rhododendrons we've had for 100 plus years that all of a sudden start to die. And this wet winter we have had, or whether we had a drought last summer, we won't see the effects for 2 years of what the impact will be.
I see.
And we might lose those. So we have to be looking at rhododendrons that tolerate more wetter winters
Yes.
and hotter summers, which could be from parts of Vietnam, shall we say. So we have to look at those sorts of rhododendrons. And we also have to look at different species. So we might be looking at something, say, an Elysium, which has this lovely flower. It's an evergreen, flowers at a similar time, but seems to tolerate those fluctuations in the weather patterns.
I think that's probably something that a lot of people won't realise, how long the effects take sometimes. You kind of think, wet winter, great, but look, everything's going back into bloom, we're done, but it's not always the case.
And then all of a sudden they start to look a bit sick after a year or two.
Right.
Or something's not right.
Quite a lot to think about, isn't there?
There is. But it's part of the joy of gardening.
Yeah, of course. And you're only just starting, so you imagine that this will be kind of a longer haul after a lot of travelling around.
Yeah. I am a Cornishman and I've settled back in my Cornish roots. And I'm very lucky that I've got a garden team around me who we are very much problem solvers. We like to discuss things. We like to think of ways around gardening and thinking about the long-term future for this garden and other gardens, what people will see. Very much problem solvers.
Yes, and it's one of those jobs that you kind of get to enjoy as much as all the people that come visit.
Yeah.
For these wonderful places. So,
yeah,
yeah, brilliant. Good luck.
Thank you.